What to do about Japanese beetles. I'm here with a gardener named Jessica. She'll tell you more about them. Hello. So, what is a Japanese beetle? Well, we have some fine specimens right here of this invasive species to Illinois. And as you can see, they have greenish heads and then copper wings with 6 legs that sometimes you can see like some white fluffy marks on them. And here they are resting on a grape leaf, which they tend to eat up and also just hang out in the sun. The Japanese beetle is also called the Papilea japonica in the Latin scientific terms, and it's approximately only 1/3 to 1/2 inch long, so they're pretty small. They are not harmful to humans, so you don't need to be scared of them. You just have to knock them off the leaves that they're feeding on if you want to get rid of them, which is the better thing to do as their numbers grow and they cause harm to the leaves of plants and flowers that you want to keep pretty in your yard. They started off here in Japan as they're named Japanese beetles, but somehow around 1916 they ended up all the way here in New Jersey or East Coast area. But now they've spread throughout the United States. Here we are near Lake Michigan, Illinois area, and they are common here.
And what is this?
So this is a very good example of just how destructive the Japanese beetles can be. As you can see on this rose plant, the leaves are almost completely gone on some of these stems due to the Japanese beetle. And also they were found in the actual rose petals and completely destroyed the beautiful plant that we had here. So here's another example of the work of Japanese beetles. So you can see this leaf in particular is completely dead, completely dried out, and these ones also show a lot of holes. So you can really see just how much these Japanese beetles can do to a single leaf or a bunch of leaves. They flew away once I came over here, but there's work of their destruction throughout the tree, and though it's only like a small part, you can imagine if there was more of them, entire branches, the fruit could probably be ruined. So not the best thing for the plant. All right, so we're in close proximity to the grapevine that I showed you some examples of the Japanese beetle. But here on this cherry tree, you can see how they are sitting on these leaves, and these leaves also are filled with holes. There's a completely dead one above there. I'm not sure if you can see that. But cherry trees are another kind of plant that the Japanese beetle can be found on.
Is there usually a lot in one area?
Yes, so this is a great example right here. These Japanese beetles are a social insect, meaning they will be in groups and usually with another friend of theirs on a leaf. So here we have a lot. They are commonly seen reproducing, as you can see in these examples. And yes, they are usually in large groups. It goes on through this grapevine here. And so that kind of makes it easier to exterminate them if you're just like flicking them into some water, which we'll talk about in just a bit.
How do you get rid of them?
So there's a couple different ways to get rid of the Japanese beetle. They've created some different insecticides that you can. All right, so maybe you've been walking around your yard and you notice that you have Japanese beetles. What do? But you still want to get them off the leaves so that their leaves don't look all dead and scraggly. Well, an easy thing to do is just grab a bucket, put some water, put some soap, push it all around. And then you just walk over to your beetles and you just flick them in the water. And hopefully they drown. and the soap keeps them from climbing out.
What if I don't want to walk around and kill them one by one?
There's a really easy way to make a hanging trap that you can hang around wherever you see the Japanese beetles. All you have to do is grab an empty milk jug or other sort of juice bottle or something large. Put some hot water in it or warm water. You can put yeast in it, sugar to attract them, some soap so they can't climb out. You just shake it all up in there, put about like that much water at least, and then you hang it out with the top open, and you just wait for them to crawl in, and then they can't crawl out.
And now you know more about gardening. Happy gardening.